This is Two Ladies Midwest Adventures. I'm Jenny, and I'm going to start the 15-minute timer, and I am going to be reading part 2 of chapter 2. There might be a part 3, just to let you know. The boundaries of the farm, as though to make quite sure that no human being. Oh, I started at the beginning of the page, not that. In a very little while, the animals had destroyed everything that reminded them of Mr. Jones. Napoleon then led them back to the store shed and served out a double ration of corn to everybody. For each dog, they sang Beasts of England from end to end, 7 times round, running. And after that they were settled down for the night, and slept as if they never slept before. At dawn as usual, and suddenly remembering the glorious thing that had happened, they all raced out to the pasture together. A little way down the pasture there was a knoll that commanded a view of most of the farm. To the top of it and gazed round in the clear morning light. Yes, it was theirs. Everything that they could see was theirs. In the esty of that thought, they gamboled round and round. They hurriedly themselves. The great leaps of excitement. In the dew, they cropped mouthfuls of sweet summer grass, and kicked up gullops of the black earth, and stuffed its rich scent. Tour of the inspection of the whole farm, and surveyed with speechless admiration, and plowland, the hayfield, the orchard, the pool, the spinney. It was all thought. It was all though they had never seen these things before. Now they could hardly believe that it was all their own. And they filed back to the farm buildings and halted in silence. Outside the doors of the farmhouse, that was theirs too, and to go inside. After a moment, however, Snowball and Napoleon butted the door open with their shoulders. The animals entered in single file, walking with the utmost care for fear. Anything. They tiptoed from room to room, afraid to speak above a whisper, and gazing with a kind of awe and at the unbelievable lecture at the beds with their feather mattresses, the looking glasses, horsehair sofa, the Brussels carpet, the lithograph of Queen Victoria over the drawing room mantelpiece. Down the stairs when Napoli was discovered to be missing. Gopak, the others, found that she had remained behind in the best bedroom. A piece of blue ribbon from Mrs. Jones' dressing table and was holding it against her shoulder and admiring herself in the glass in a very foolish manner. The others reapproached her sharply, and they went outside. Some hams hanging in the kitchen were taken out for Brutal and for spiritual, and the burial of beer in the scullery was stove in the kitchen with a kick from Boxer's hoof. Nothing in the house was touched. A ominous resolution was passed on the spot that their farmhouse should be preserved as a minimum museum. All were agreed that no animal must live there ever, must ever live there. Had their breakfast, and then Snowball and Napoleon called them together. "Comrades," said Snowball, "it is 6:30, and we have a long day before us. Today we begin the hay harvest, but there is another matter that must be attended first." Revealed that during the past 3 months they had taught themselves to read and write from an odd spelling book which had belonged to Mr. Jones' children and which had been thrown in the rubbish heap. Napoleon sent for pots of black-white paint and led the way down to the 5-barrel gate and gave on to the main road. Can I have a hug, Dada? Love you.
Love you too.
Is it time for you to go to work?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Thanks for turning on the light, though. Well, for it was Snowball who was best at riding. Took a brush between the two knuckles of his trotter, painted out Manor Farm from the top bar of the gate, and in its place painted Animal Farm. This was to be the name of the farm from now onwards. This, they went back to the farm buildings, where Snowball and Napoleon sent for a ladder, which they caused to be set against the end of the barn wall, at the end of the big barn. They explained that by their studies of the past 3 months, the pigs had succeeded in reducing the principles of animalism to 7 commandments. These 7 commandments would be now inscribed on the wall. They would form an unalterable law by which all the animals on the farm must live forever after. With some difficulty, for it is not easy for a pig to balance himself on a ladder, Snowball climbed up and set to work. The squealer, a few rungs below, holding him the paint pot.
Hello?
The commandments were written on the terral wall in great white letters that could be read 30 yards away. They ran thus: the 7 commandments. 1. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. 2. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. It was very neatly written, and except that friend was written Friend, and one of the S's was the wrong way around. The spelling was correct all the way through. All the way, though. Snowball read it out loud for the benefit of the others. All the animals nodded in complete agreement, and the clever ones at once began to learn the commandments by heart. Now, comrades, cried Snowball, throwing down the paintbrush. To the hayfield. Throwing down the paintbrush. To the hayfield. Let us make it a point of honor to get in the harvest more quickly than Jones and his men could do. But at this moment the 3 cows, who had seemed uneasy for some time past, set up a loud lowing. They had not been milked for 24 hours, and their udders were almost bursting. After a little thought, the pigs sent 4 buckets and milked the cows fairly successfully. Their trotters being well adapted to this, soon there were 5 buckets of frothing, creamy milk, at which many of the animals looked with considerable interest. What is going to happen to all that milk? Said someone. Jones used sometimes to mix some of it in our mash, said one of the hens. Never mind the milk, comrades, cried Napoleon, placing himself in front of the buckets. That will be attended to. The harvest is more important. Comrades, Snowball will lead the way. I shall follow in a few minutes. Forward, comrades. The hay is waiting. So the animals tropped down to the hayfield to begin the harvest. And when they came back in the evening, it was noticed that the milk had disappeared. And that is the end of chapter 2. Okay. So, I'm going to say like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so I can start beekeeping. Like the little bee that's going to show up right there. In a clap. Okay. The bee is now right there. Now Nicole's cats will be right over here.
One eternity later.
Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start beekeeping. Stay blessed. Make the world a better place, one person and one moment at a time. Bye-bye. Julietta? Food.